Welcome to Golden Rule Wisdom, where we explore the deepest corners of the human heart through stories of love and loss. Deep within the ancient forest there stood a magnificent tree that had witnessed the passing of time for many long centuries. Upon its sturdy branches lived a pair of birds, their feathers bright and colourful, sharing a life that seemed perfectly peaceful. The male bird loved his partner with a devotion that was rare, ensuring she was always fed, warm, and feeling safe. He would sing to her every single morning, melodies that expressed a love deeper than the roots of their giant home. But as the seasons began to change and the warm days faded, a cold wind brought with it a silent darkness. The female bird started to feel a strange insecurity growing inside her heart, a shadow that clouded her once bright mind. She began to question his devotion, wondering if his love was truly as strong as he claimed it to be daily. Doubt is a dangerous seed that once planted grows rapidly until it chokes the life out of everything beautiful around it. One evening she decided to test him, needing proof of his affection to silence the whispering fears in her own head. She looked at him and said, "Tomorrow, before the sun rises, we must meet at the base of this great tree." She declared that whoever arrives at the roots first loves the other more, making it a contest of speed and devotion. It was a foolish game to play, for true love does not need to be proven through arbitrary tests and challenges. The male bird felt a heavy weight in his heart, fearing that if he arrived second, she would doubt him forever. He could not bear the thought of her waiting for him, so he decided to descend long before the sun rose. He flew down into the freezing darkness, leaving the warmth of the nest to ensure he would be the first one. Reaching the bottom, the cold was intense, biting through his feathers, but he sat there waiting, fueled by his love. High above, in the safety of the branches, the female slept warmly, confident that her test would reveal the absolute truth. As the hours passed slowly, the temperature dropped further, turning the moisture in the air into deadly shards of pure ice. He looked up toward where she slept, wishing he could be there, but his promise kept him rooted to the frozen ground. The winter wind howled like a hungry beast, tearing at his warmth, demanding he surrender to the sleep of the cold. His tiny heart beat slower and slower, fighting a losing battle against the elements, all for the sake of proving love. Finally, the long night began to fade, and the first grey light of dawn crept silently across the frozen forest floor. The female awoke with a start, noticing the empty space beside her, and a smile of triumph crossed her small beak. She flew down gracefully, expecting to see him waiting, or perhaps to arrive first and tease him for his laziness. She landed and looked around the clearing, scanning the bushes and the branches, but she did not see him anywhere nearby. A surge of anger rose within her chest, believing he had ignored her challenge and stayed warm somewhere else instead. She chirped loudly, calling out his name with frustration, ready to scold him for not loving her enough to come. Then the sun rose fully above the horizon, casting a beam of light that illuminated the dark roots of the tree. Her eyes followed the light, and suddenly her heart stopped beating for a moment as she realized what lay beneath her. There he lay, perfectly still, his colorful feathers covered in a delicate layer of white frost, blending with the snow. And she rushed to his side, chirping frantically, nudging him with her beak, begging him to wake up and greet her. But he was cold, harder than the wood of the tree, and silence was the only answer she received from him. She suddenly understood that he had been there all night, waiting in the freezing cold, just to prove his love. Overcome with grief, she collapsed beside him, realizing her foolish doubt had cost him his life and her happiness. He had arrived first, just as she asked, but the price of his victory was a tragedy that could never be undone. She tried to warm him with her wings, but it was too late. The winter had claimed the only one who truly loved her. The sun continued to rise, indifferent to her pain, shining brightly on the tragic consequence of suspicion and unnecessary testing. Trust is like a mirror. Once you break it by testing it too hard, you can never fix the reflection. She returned to the empty branch. I'm destined to live with the heavy regret of knowing she was the cause of this. Her doubt had created a monster where there was none, and in trying to secure love, she had destroyed it completely. We often treat the ones we love like enemies, demanding proof of their loyalty while giving them reasons to leave. Suspicion is a poison that contaminates the soul, making us blind to the devotion that is right in front of us. True love is often silent. It is found in the hard work and sacrifices that are made without asking for applause. When you weigh love against doubt, remember that love is light and freeing, while doubt is a heavy, crushing burden. Seasons may change and the ice may melt, but the scars left by a lack of trust can last forever. Do not wait until it is too late to appreciate the silent sacrifices of those who stand by your side daily. If you have someone who loves you, cherish them, hold them close, and do not test the limits of their heart. A relationship built on trust is like a fortress. It can withstand the strongest storms and the coldest winters of life. Plant seeds of faith in your partner, water them with understanding, and you will grow a garden of eternal happiness. The song of the lonely bird still echoes in the forest, a warning to all who hear it about doubt. Life moves on, but we must carry the lessons of the past to ensure we do not repeat the same mistakes. New love will always blossom, and it is our duty to protect it from the frost of suspicion and jealousy. Look into the eyes of your beloved and choose to see the truth of their love, not the fiction of fear. Let your trust be a light that guides your partner home, rather than a darkness that drives them into the cold. Celebrate the small moments, for they are the bricks that build the magnificent castle of a shared life together. Remember the songs they sing for you, the gestures they make, and let those be the proof that you need. Do not test love, for it is not a commodity to be measured, but a gift to be cherished forever. As the sun sets on our story, let the shadow of the bird be a reminder to love without condition. She flew away carrying her burden, leaving the ancient tree to whisper her tragic tale to the wind and stars. The tree remains a silent guardian of secrets, reminding us that nature sees all the folly of our fragile hearts. May your love be as vast as the sky and as enduring as the stars, free from the clouds of doubt. Take a moment today to reflect on your own heart. Are you harboring doubts that could hurt someone you love? Erase the suspicion from your mind, and you will find that the picture of your life becomes instantly more beautiful. The legacy of trust is a happy family and a peaceful mind, treasures that are worth more than gold. And even in death, love remains, a spirit that watches over us, forgiving our mistakes and wishing us nothing but peace. Be like the still water, reflecting the truth clearly, undisturbed by the ripples of paranoia and unnecessary fear. Hold your loved ones tight, tell them you trust them, and never let the cold winter night come between you. The universe is vast and cold, but love is the fire that keeps us warm. Do not let it die. Warmth will always conquer cold, just as faith will always conquer fear if we are brave enough to choose it. Communication is the key. Speak your fears instead of acting on them, and you will save yourself much sorrow. Build bridges to your partner's heart. Do not build walls of ice that keep them out and you lonely. We can heal and we can move forward, but the wisdom we gain comes at a price we must pay. Let the image of the faithful bird waiting in the snow be etched in your mind as a symbol of love. I'd thank you for joining us on this emotional journey. We hope this story has touched your heart and opened your eyes. Please like, share, and subscribe to Golden Rule Wisdom to help us spread more stories of love and life lessons.